Let me open our project. Git demo. Git status on master. Let me add and commit everything. Git commit -am on master. So today let's begin with another concept called rebase, or an advanced concept in Git. Um, rebase. So before we start rebase, any question previous class? All right, let's get into the rebase then. So what is rebase? To understand this, let us take a use case. I'm sharing the black screen. So let us imagine, let's assume there's a master branch and there are two commits on this master branch, like commit A, commit B. Then we made a branch called B2 from this master. Let's say B2. So obviously it will also have the same commits, commit A, commit B, right? Seems there were people still joining and waiting for approvals, as it is a day one of the new Zoom link. Let's wait for 2 more minutes. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can go ahead. Hope that is fine with you all. The Zoom link changed, right? So people are waiting for those registrations. Just give us, let's give a couple of minutes, because if they miss this one, it would be difficult to follow further. Meanwhile, any queries from the previous topics? All right, then let's begin. Sorry for the pause. I'm just beginning with the rebase. And I would like to tell you one more thing. This is the same Zoom link which will be used throughout the course, right? You have registered once, that is fine. So once it is registered, you don't need to again go through the same process. It's only one-time task and it's the same link for the entire course. Make this noted and join on time from tomorrow. So let's begin with the concept of rebase. To understand this concept, let's take a scenario. Let's say there's a master branch and there were two commits like commit A and commit B, right? And we are creating a branch from master, which is, and obviously you will get the same commit history copied over here, right? Like commit A and commit B. Okay. So now, obviously they'll have same. Now let's say, okay, they have created a branch. So parallel development is happening. And on master branch, there is a commit called C, commit C made. On the B2 branch, there is a commit D made, right? So that's how parallelly development is happening. And at some point of time, they want to integrate changes from master to B2. What is that called as integrating changes from one branch to another?
Merging.
Merging, right? This is called merging. And if you have noticed the commit history after merge? It would be this way. A, B means the destination branch commit history would be changed this way. A, B, C, D, and whatever changes were merged would be added as a topmost commit into the current branch as the latest commit. This is how the commit history would be in case of no conflicts. In case of conflicts also, it would be the same, but the commit ID would be changing. This would be the difference. Commit ID would be different. This is how the commit history would change in the case of conflicts, right? So means what happens if you notice always a new commit ID is added as the topmost commit into the current branch. This is what happens always. This is the general or the regular use case, right? But ideally it shouldn't be the case, right? You are committing it. Why should it add as a latest commit, right? It's not a latest commit in the current branch. Just because you are integrating changes from one branch to another, you shouldn't get a new commit ID added like this. But what are you expecting? Let's suppose I don't want new commits added like this. Rather, I want something like this. I want the commit history added like A, B, C, commit C should come and sit in here, right? Isn't it? Means this is the commit history I want, as though means if someone looks at it, it should look like, okay, we have created a branch at this point C, but not at point B. But the reality is we have created the branch at point B, not at point C, right? But it would look like as though we have created branch at commit C. Means the whole point is the commit history should be clean. If you want a clean linear log history, clean linear commit history, right? Then we go for rebase. This is nothing but rebase. Means what is the thing? Again, functionality wise same. It is also a kind of merge. Rebase is also a kind of merge. It will integrate changes from one branch to another, but it will rewrite the log history. Rewrite the log history and show the log history in such a way that development happened linearly. Linearly means one after the other. It will show as if development have happened linearly, but not parallelly. Parallelly means, okay, commit D is made on B2, commit C is made on master. This is how changes are happening parallelly. But rebase is like it will bring changes from master into this, and commit C would sit in between B and D. And you will see linear log history, meaning initially all the changes from the parent branch, then the child changes from the child branch. But during merge, that's not the case, right? These are from parent. During merge, parent, child, again parent. right? That's not a linear log history. This is the linear log history. Initially, all the parent commits arranged as per the timestamp, then all the child commits again arranged as per the timestamp. So it shows linear development. So if you want this kind of linear, clean log history instead of the parallel development history, so that at any point of time you could understand which changes are from which branch, that's called rebase. Rebase is a far advanced concept. This kind of rebase is very rarely used, and this is again confined. The thumb rule is you rebase only local branches, not the branches you push to remote. Any questions?
Is it for only display purpose, or because development happens parallelly with the
Log
multiple
history would
branches?
be rewriting, that's all. Right. Log history would be rewriting. Again, functionality wise, same. It will integrate changes from one branch to another.
Having a clean
Yes, to understand the log history.
observation.
Log
Right.
history.
So Preeti, so it's going to be on the commit history, the parent commits followed by the child commit.
Right. If this is clear theoretically, we'll go for the practical. Okay, so let's get into this hands-on. So let's do some hands-on on the same use case we discussed. First, I'm checking on master branch. And if I see here status, okay, Git status is good. And Git log. Okay, I just want to go with commit A and commit C as per the diagrammatic explanation. So I just want to get rid of the first commit. What should we do? I don't want the first commit ID, top commit ID.
Reset.
Exactly, git set hard, head tilde one successive commit ID. So I'm just going with a simple short log. So that's a log of master. Now assume that is A, the both of one is A and then the other one is B. Now I'm creating a branch, git checkout B2, right? So I'm creating a new branch, obviously. Oh, sorry. Git checkout B2. This is to switch the branch, right? This also can be used to create a branch. Git checkout -B you have to use, or else git branch B2 master. This is another way. So B2 might have been created, but before going to B2, let me create another commit here on master, which is commit C. Let's say file 3. Okay. By now we are well versed with this. So status message would show us untracked file. So let us add and commit. Had a power cut, sorry. One. Yeah. So git file 3 not stay. Git commit -m on master. Right, so it is committed. So we'll be having a third file and the third commit on master. Right, perfect. Already B2 branch is created. This third file and third commit wouldn't be available on master, right? So, I mean, wouldn't be available on B2. So let's switch to B2. So if you see, you don't have the third file and the third commit. I'm creating some changes here. Let's say file4.txt, file on B2. Let us add this. Git add file4, git commit -am B1 changes. Sorry, B2 changes. Okay, so done. So B2 changes were available. So what next? Now, if you see the log here, git log one line of B2, this is A, B, and D. Now I want to integrate changes of master. If you want to see the log of any other branch, okay, I want to see the log of master in B2. You can write the branch name here. So this is the log history, commit history. Let me just copy this to a notepad for your better reference. Okay, so this is the log of, let me segregate it. This is the log of master. This is the log of B2. Okay, so do you see this? This is commit A, this is commit B. We have the same here. And this is commit D on B2 and this is commit A on master. Right now we want to rebase. After rebase, I just want to get all of this back. This is the log of and then the log of B2. Okay, that's before rebase. Now let's do the rebase. How do you do the rebase? Simply git like merge, same command. Git rebase source branch and the destination branch. Git rebase master and B2. As I'm already on B1, B2, writing destination branch is optional. So that's the rebase. Now, if you check the log of master, master wouldn't change log of master because that's a source branch. Let's check the log of B2. Do you see that? This is the log of B2. That's a log of B2. Do you see this? Right? So this is commit A, commit B, commit C, and in B2, commit A, commit B, commit D. And if you see here, this commit C was in between here. Let me also write the letter so that you could identify this is commit B, this is commit C, this is commit D after rebase. This is commit A, this is commit B, this is commit D. Right? This is the commit C, commit B, commit A. So C is in between B and D. It was not added as the topmost commit. That's the point here. This is after rebase. Log of B2 after rebase. This is B2 log before rebase. Is this much clear?
Yes.
Ma'am,
That
it
much?
is ma'am, it is merged from the master to B2.
Right.
Okay.
P2 is the destination here.
Generally, we have to merge with the master, I think. Why why have you done merging with the child?
To show you the rebase concept.
Okay.
Generally, we merge it into the destination branches, which are permanent branches. To show this rebase, I have done from master to B2. You could do vice versa. But generally, the whole point is first master commit should be there. I mean, first parent commit should be there, then the child. Right? That's how it should be in the child branch. Commits of child branch should be, this is how it should be.
So if we, okay, for presentation sake, it's okay. And there is a commit log one line graph all. If we give that command, won't it show like ABCD linearly?
Which one? Yeah, there are so many commands for representation, Praveen. Okay, this is the order. It is rewriting the commit history, log of commit history. It's rewriting in a particular order. Initially, parent commits. ABC or from parent, then the child commit. This is the rewriting. It rewrites the log history. So this is the kind of rebase. Like I said, this kind of rebase is used less, but there is another kind of rebase which is used more widely that's applicable on remote as well. Okay, we'll look into that rebase which is more widely used. But is the concept clear for everyone? Any questions on this? Any confusions? Is this much clear for all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right. So this is the rebase and I'm just cleaning it. And so till now, we were working on the local repository, right? Let's go to the architectural diagram. So we are here at this point and we were working on the first use case. If you remember, we assume there's nothing on remote. So we developed it locally and then we are pushing to remote. Then we will push to remote. As of now, the use case is, it's a new project. There's nothing on remote. So we develop locally. Let's assume, okay, we are ready. Our project is ready for our learning purpose. Yeah, we have learned almost all the concepts. Now let's say, okay, I just want to share this with others and push to remote, right? That's where remote repositories comes in. And GitHub is an example for remote repository. Bitbucket is another example, right? These are the remote repositories. Remote repository is nothing but online management system, which can help you host your local repositories like Git, right? All the version control systems, local repositories can be hosted. If you know GitHub, working with Bitbucket is very similar and vice versa. So learn one thing, we'll be learning GitHub here. So let's push the code to GitHub now. How to go to GitHub? How do you access this GitHub? Like I said, it's an online management system where you can host your local repositories. You can just go to Google and type in GitHub, github.com. Create a free account, right? Like any Gmail account or Facebook account. It's very simple. Create a free account. Once you create a free account, you can log into it. Okay, so this is your repository. Once you log in, you'll get this user ID and some password, and this is how it looks like. Maybe if you are doing it for the first time, you will see a fresh page, and this is where I want to push and share it with the team and collaborate. So you have to push to this location means you need an address, right? That's a remote repository. Go and create a new remote repository. Let's say I'm giving name as repo1. A public repository I'm creating. You may create a dummy README file or else I'm just creating a repository here. This serves like an address. See, do you see here HTTPS? You can connect via HTTPS or SSH. We'll be connecting via HTTPS. So copy this URL, go here. This is my local repository. Correct? Git demo is the project. Git demo is the folder. It's a local repository. Now I need to connect this local repository with this remote. I need to establish a connection with the remote. So how do we do that? Simply do git remote add origin and the URL you have copied. What is this origin? Origin is a keyword or else an alias name which will hold this remote repository address. Origin will hold this remote repository address. It's like a keyword, means let's say it's like a variable, alias name, whatever you call it. Means from next time onwards, whenever I have to refer to this remote URL, I'll refer it as origin. Okay, so it's like a keyword. You may give any name, but the general practice or the best practice is we give it as origin. It's like a variable. Imagine you have a variable x, you put some value, right? X equal to 5, something like this. So origin is added. Get remote -v. So those are the URLs, like it's connected to the remote. Now, if you want to push something here, sorry. Git to push origin, I want to push master. For me, it's not asking any credentials because on this system, I have already done before. Only for the first time, it will ask for credentials. Because I'm using it from some time, it's not asking me credentials. But if you are doing it for the first time, whenever you are pushing, you need to have access to that repo. So it will ask for the username and password. What is the username and password you will provide then?
The Git account's username and password.
So what you have to do is you shouldn't provide this user ID and password. Okay, that kind of authentication is not implemented. It is like a decommissioned. It's not being used now. Then what you have to do, you have to go here to your account details, go to settings. Okay, and again on the settings, at the bottom, you will see developer settings. Go here. Now the authentication is happening via access tokens, personal access tokens. So what you have to do here, go to personal access tokens, classic ones are enough. So just go here and create this token. Right here, you can go and say generate the token, a classic one, and give some name to your token, like my token or whatever, some example token or whatever. Give some name. And you can set the expiration, like 30 days it should work, or 60 days, 7 days. I have chosen this so that I'm using the same throughout, but you can choose the expiration as you need and select the scopes, like it should work with the repos or whatever. Actually, here you may choose repos, that should be fine, and generate the token. Once you generate the token, it will be shown like this, only for the first time, only once. So copy it and save it securely somewhere. I already have another token, I'm deleting it. It's only one time. Later on, you can't see that. Save it somewhere. That should be used as a password. Am I clear? It will be visible only once. You should copy it and secure it somewhere safely so that you have to reuse that as a password. That's a password. Now, whenever it prompts for username and password, username could be anything. Maybe your user ID or anything is fine, or your token name is also fine. But the password should be that personal access token. Am I clear?
Yes, please.
Right? So that you will be able to push. Now that we have pushed, let's see now. Let's go to our repo. Our repo name is repo1. It says updated 2 minutes ago. Yes, I have got this master branch pushed. All the 3 files, all the commits, commit history can be seen here as 3 commits. All the changes can be seen. So it's working as expected, right? So any other collaborators, any others who have access to this repo can see those changes. Let's say I want to push the other branch also. Git push origin B1. Only for the first time it will ask credentials, not each time. So now I can push B1 as well. Here you can see now 2 branches. If you want to switch to that branch, click on that branch. You are seeing some files. If you want to go for master, perfect. This is how you can see the changes, right? Interesting, isn't it? Now we have pushed to remote. This is your remote repository. In this scenario, I would like to show you another interesting thing. Till now, we were creating branches, but we did not delete them. Am I correct? Yeah. Let's delete the branch. Let's say B1 is for temporary purpose. I want to delete it. Git branch -d B1. See, there is an error. Error says the branch B1 is not fully merged. If you are sure you want to delete it, run this command. Right? Why it is saying it's not fully merged? What happens if we delete a branch which is not fully merged?
The latest developments that we do on the branch is gone.
Right? Now, if we don't merge and if we are deleting this branch, changes might be gone, but it is asking for confirmation. If you still want to delete, use capital D. Okay, fine. I have deleted. Now, if I see git branch, there is no B1. Perfect. This is how you delete the branch. Is it deleted from here as well? See, it's still there. Means you have deleted it from your local, not from remote. How to delete from remote? There are multiple ways. You may go here like branches. See the default one, the master branch, and then the B1 branch. You may delete from here. Click on this and delete. Or else, that's very simple from the UI. There is another way you can do from your local, you can delete from the remote. So that's where comes a command git push origin. We push the changes to origin, which will delete B1. This will delete from remote. Let's see. Earlier, there were 2 branches. If you refresh now, see only one branch B1 is gone. Are we good? So this is a simple pushing the changes to remote, deleting the branches from remote. Coming back here, till now we were talking about the use case where there is nothing on remote. We created locally, push to remote. Now let's begin with the other use case. What is the other use case? Can anyone mention the other use case?
There is something already on the remote repository and we are trying to pull and make some changes.
Yeah, let's assume there is already some changes on remote, right? Like let's say that's an old project already. There's a project on remote. We join the team now. Now I want to get the changes, right? So how to do that? Means assume there is another project. Let me just pick up some existing projects, existing repositories to assume, okay, we already have some changes. I don't want to experiment on the existing ones as they are a bit important. Let me create a dummy one. But this time I'll create it with a dummy README file. Okay. Assume that, imagine it's having one commit, one file. Assume that it could be having multiple files, right? Like multiple commits. I don't want to use some other project to experiment, so I'm doing it. Are we clear? So this is an old project, let's assume. Now I want to copy this and create a local repository. Is it possible to copy this and create a local repository? Definitely. See, this one is created. How did we create Git demo? Git init, right? This is also local repository created. Now there is another way to create the local repository. Okay, there is another way to create the local repository. Copy from remote. How do you do that? That's where again go to some project folder and do git clone that URL, right? And that will also create local repository. Let's do that. Let's come out of this git demo. On the desktop, let me create a folder called, okay, on the desktop itself, we can just clone it. What happens is whenever you clone, it will create a folder. Let me do that. Git clone. Again, get the URL. How do you get the URL? This is where you can get the URL. Now just come here, git clone URL. What it will do, cloning into repo2. Do you see that? A folder called repo2 will be created on the desktop, and it will have including .git. Means repo2 is nothing but a local repository, isn't it? This is what is our learning, right? Whenever you do git init, .git will be created. This is nothing but your local repository. Similarly, whenever you do git clone, it will create a folder by the same name of the repository. And if you go there, you will see git init. This folder name is nothing but repo2. And it will have it will have .git. I'm sorry. It will have .git. We did not do git init here. I'm sorry. It will automatically means whenever you clone, there will be .git also, means it has copied the entire repository from the remote. It will also have .git whenever you do git clone. This is your another local repository. Got it? Any questions, confusions? Let me open this. See, repo2 is here. Let me open this. And yeah, let's launch the terminal. I would like the bash terminal. Yeah, we are in the repo2 already. README dummy file is there. Again, it works like a local repository. Are we clear?
Yes.
Right? So again, like it's a local repository. You can again make a files, you can make the changes like we did earlier, push to remote, everything is same again. So let's say I made some file. So what we should do, it's a local repository. How to add this file? Git add file one, same local repository, git commit minus m, first file, first changes, whatever, and done. Okay, now let's say I have this commit, a new commit ID. Let's say I just want to push to remote. Should I do again git remote add origin? If you have created the repo with git in it, then to connect, you have to do this git remote add origin. Here I have cloned it. Whenever you cloned it, origin would be automatically set. Again, you don't need to do git remote add origin. If you want to see how to which remote it's connected, git remote minus v. Do you see it's already set in the second type of repos? Got the point? So now let us add this git commit minus m changes on remote, or else let's say changes locally made. Done. Anyway, we already committed, right? I'm sorry. So now let's say I want to push to remote. Command is say git push origin, the branch name. The branch name is master or main. If you have created from the UI, it would be like main or master or both same. So git push origin, sorry, typo. Git push origin. So changes would be pushed. If you see here, yeah. Understood?
Yes.
Everyone, is it clear? Can I get a quick confirmation from all of you? Are we good?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for the quick confirmation. So let us execute few more scenarios here. We have pushed some changes to remote, right? So this is another local repository which we got by clone. Let us take another interesting use case. So like we were talking about, this would be collaborated across multiple people, right? So assume someone else have created some file. Okay, means someone else, like let's say I am connected to this. You might be connected to this. You might be pushing your changes. So here I don't have anyone. So I'm just creating from the UI. Okay, let's say I'm creating file 2. Like this, many people will be pushing their changes here. Correct? File from some user 2. Okay, some dummy content I'm making. This is also the way you can make a commit. Let's assume this is made by someone else. Is this available in my local? Will it be available in my local, this new commit and this file?
No.
No,
No.
right? So I have cloned it some time back. Later on, people might be making so many other changes. At any point of time, if you want to update this local repository with the changes from remote, what do you do or how do you do that?
Git pull.
Pull origin, the branch name. Pull command will help you get the updates. See here, one file change and you see the file added here. Also, you can see the log commit history added. Right? So that's how pull works. I'll show you another interesting thing. Let me do the same. Let's assume again some other collaborator is pushing some other changes. From user 3, let's assume, whatever, whoever it is. So made some changes. Okay. And so now you want to get the changes. Pull is like, listen carefully, pull is like integrating changes from one branch to another. But here the point is integrating changes from one remote repository to local repository. That's how pull works. Right? Earlier we learned about merge, right? It will integrate changes from one branch to pull also does the same. It will merge changes from remote branches to local branches. That's what pull does. It's a kind of merge. So now what I want is, I don't want to merge the changes. I just want to see the changes. Git fetch origin. This will just show you there were changes, but it will not pull the changes. See, you did not get file 3. Do you see that? Means it will not merge the changes. It will just tell you, okay, there were some updates, there were some changes. But if you want to merge the changes, git pull origin. Then you get this file. Understood? So here the point is, I would like to make a note of 3 very important commands. Git clone, git push, git pull, and git fetch. These 3 commands looks and sound similar. It is important from the point of interview as well to understand the difference between these commands. Can anyone tell me when do you use clone, what it does?
To get code from the remote repository.
It will copy from remote repository to local and it will create a local repository.
Local
It
repository.
will create a local repository and you do it for the first time. You clone it. You can clone only once. If it's already cloned, if you run this command, it will give you error. Later on, okay, let's say you have cloned on August 1st. Now it is September 5th. Now, meanwhile, so many other collaborators might have added their changes, isn't it? You want to get those updates to your local. Then you do git
pull.
update from remote to local. It works like a merge. Okay, it works like a merge. It will integrate changes from remote to local. Fetch is like, it will show the updates which are present on remote, which are not there in your local, right? Those are the 3 commands which sounds and which looks similar, but this is the difference. Most of the times we use pull. Clone only once for the first time. Next time onwards, we'll use pull to merge the changes from remote to local. Were these 3 commands clear for everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, so if this is clear, I'll show you different scenarios, different use cases. Let's proceed. What we will do is, on this remote, I'm creating one more file. Okay. File 4.txt. New file from some user 3 or whoever it is. It's not me. Okay. It not me in the sense like Of course, I have created from here, but from locally, it should show like there's some update on remote, right? So now let's go to here, and here I'm going to make some file 5.txt. Okay, so I'm just adding this file. -m. Okay, done. So I'm done. Let's say I'm done with my changes. Parallelly, so many changes were being pushed on remote. This keep on happening. This keep on continuing, isn't it? I will be developing locally. So many other collaborators will add there. But I don't know whether they were changes or not. I just want to push my changes to remote because my work is done. So what is the command?
Git push origin.
Right? Git push origin. The branch name is main here. So git push origin main. So whenever you do this, what happens? Will it allow? What happens now?
We will get conflicts.
Why there is a conflict? It's a different file, file 4 here, file 3.
But the destination
Another
doesn't have
browser.
the.
We don't have destination file in our local.
See, you get a conflict in the use case where same file and source is missing some commits. Both should be there. Same file is the first point, then source is missing some commits which are there on destination. Then only you'll get a conflict. It's not a same file. First point is itself is invalid here. Understood? So
Yes.
you will not get a conflict here, but always the thumb rule is, there is a thumb rule which everyone should follow blindly. Before you push your changes, always the thumb rule is pull the changes first. Why? Why you should do this? Because before you push, you should make sure you are having the changes in place. All the changes from remote should be there. Local means, suppose let's say you are pushing your changes. You can push from the latest copy, means you should have a latest copy. Let's say I have cloned it on August 1st. Now I am pushing. It will not allow. Because till September 5th, so many other changes might have been pushed. You should first get the latest copy before you pull. Let's see what happens. See, rejected. Rejected because failed to push to this. Updates were rejected because the remote contains the work that you do not have locally. This is usually caused by another repository pushing to the same reference. That's what it's saying. This is usually caused by another repository pushing to the reference, means there might be another users, another local repositories pushing to the same remote. Like I mentioned, right? You might be connected to the same repo like I did. Am I making sense? Yesterday, some of you are asking this question. Let's say there are 10 workstations, how it works. This is how it works. Assume you are also doing it in your local, connecting to the same repo. Right? I believe the scenario is clear now. So always it will ask us to do a pull before you push. So what should we do? First, get the late updates. Okay, have a latest copy of the remote. So what is the command?
First, we need to back up the file.
We need to do a git pull, right, to get the updates. Git pull origin main. This is what you should do. Okay, once you get the updates, we will not get a conflict because that's a file 4. This is file 5, no conflicts. Pull it. Then you do. After pull, you do the push. It should work fine. Listen here carefully, but here one thing happens. Whenever you pull, you are it's like a merge, right? A new commit ID will be added. Let's say X, a commit ID will be added. Okay, already you have some commit ID which you want to push. Am I correct? Initially, we had one commit ID, right, which we want to push. This is the one, right? Like I have made some local changes. I want to push this one actually, right? But then I pulled, because I pulled a merge happened, another commit ID. So there will be 2 commit IDs. And when you push, 2 commit IDs will be going there. 2 commit IDs, 2 commits will be pushed. Means if you see here, yeah, 5 commits. So if you push, what happens? 7 commits will be there, right? But now what I want is, that is not a good practice. If you are doing hands-on on Windows, you can try this. You will see 2 commits pushed. Okay, this is allowed, 2 commits pushed, but this is not a good practice, right? You shouldn't be pushing 2 commits just because you're merging. So what you will do is, what is the best practice is, yes, you pull with git pull origin main with the rebase -r. That's where rebase comes in. Git pull origin main with the rebase. What happens when you do this? It will not create another new commit ID, right? It will merge it into the same branch, right? And it will finally will have only 1 commit ID. When you push, what happens? Only 1 commit will be pushed in this case, if you pull with rebase. That's what we need. We just don't want to push 2 commits. Ideally, it should be only 1. So that's where pull with rebase comes in. This is the right practice. And yeah, in Mac, only this is allowed. In Windows, if you are doing hands-on on Windows or Linux, you can try both. You can try normal pull. This is one scenario. Or else you can also try the other scenario. Other scenario is, once you finish, again repeat it. This time you pull with rebase. Making sense? Whoever working on Windows or Linux, you can try both. If it is Mac, you can execute only this one. It will not allow normal pull because that's not a right practice. Am I clear? So I'll go with this part as I'm using Mac. Can I go ahead and pull with rebase? Or any questions, confusions? Okay, taking a no for questions, taking it as no. Now git pull origin main with the -r, right? Pulling with the rebase. You get the pull. Now, if you see the log, right? See, still local changes were there. Do you see that? It doesn't add like a new commit ID, if you see. But it might have been added here somewhere. This one, EA, commit ID got changed, if you see. Do you see that? This ID got changed. But additional commit ID was not created, or else it's the same. This is the one. Now, if you push, git push origin main. Okay, now let's go to remote. Let's see. See, only 6 commits were there. Do you see that? Only finally this local changes were pushed. Just because you merge, it shouldn't push a new commit ID. Understood?
Yes.
So this is the pull with rebase. If you are using Windows, you can try both, like I said, so that you will see the difference. Initially, you will see 7 commits. Then later on, you can see 6 commits only when you do, only 1 commit when you do rebase. You can try this out. Can you try from your end, everyone? Can you try doing the scenarios, both of it?
Yeah.
Try to execute both the scenarios, see the difference and let me know. This is simple pull and push. The thumb rule is, if whatever way you pull with rebase or normal pull, you have to first pull before you push your changes. That's a thumb rule. And the scenario we have seen is no conflict scenario. I can show you another scenario with conflict. Can I proceed, or do you have queries, or do you need a pause? Anything, any questions?
Ma'am, can we explain again? That's Windows 1.
Okay, generally, like you made some changes you want to push, right? So if you are pushing means ideally you want to push your commit, like 1 commit would be pushed, let's say, right? But before pushing, thumb rule is you have to pull. That is the thumb rule, because like again, the reason is you might have cloned some days back, or else I might have cloned and pulled yesterday. But again, after yesterday, like till today, some other changes might be there, right? So you have to first pull, get a latest copy before you push. So I will do a pull. But if you do like this normal pull, pull with origin, it will pull means pull is like a merge, right? It will integrate changes from remote to local. So it will bring one commit ID. And then you push back, right? So when you push back, what happens? Already one commit ID is added when you pulled. Your own commit ID is added. So when you push back, two commits will be pushed. Two commit IDs will be pushed, right? Understood why two commit IDs will be pushed?
Yes, one is for the pull and one is for the push.
Yeah, pull means you got one into your local, right? One commit ID, let's one, or it could be any number, right? Those commit IDs were merged into your local. Those commit IDs plus the one you have made, the one you want to actually push, right? So that's how additional commit IDs would be added this way. And when you push, yes, you will see those additional commit IDs pushed back to remote. Means on remote, let's say if there are 5, there will be 7. An additional one will be there because you pulled. Right?
Okay, ma'am.
So we, rather than doing the normal pull, if you pull with or is pull with minus R, pull with rebase, what happens? It will not create an additional commit ID into your local repository. It will not create additional commit ID means you already have one commit ID which you want to push. When you are pushing it back, only that particular commit ID will be pushed. So when if you have 5 on remote, when after this push, you will see 6. That's all. No additional commit IDs just because you are pulling. Hope I made it clear with this scenario. Just go through it one more time, listen the recording, watch it and execute it from your end so that it would be very much clear for all of you. Right? But still, any more questions you have in your mind, you are free to go ahead. Any queries? Shall we go for the no conflict scenario? Okay. Let me go for the no conflict scenario.
Hey, Preeti, Surya here.
Oh, yes, Surya.
So I have one question. So while after committing, right? So while trying to push, so suppose we have some rules in Git means push rule added in Git because means remote. So somehow that rule is not allowing to push the much changes what we made in local. So how can we means do we need to remove that repository and again
That is
local
a
repository?
different concept, Surya. That's called pull requests and all branch restrictions. We will discuss that. Okay. First, if you
No.
learn the concept, then we'll talk. Actually, what happens is it will not be allowed to push to main or master. Okay,
Yeah,
you have to create on a feature branch, then push it as a feature branch. From
okay.
feature branch, we'll raise a PR and merge it to main. I'll show you that. Okay, we'll discuss, we'll come to that.
Okay.
Let me show you the branching, let me show you a conflict scenario. I'm creating a file here. Let's say file 6. So someone made some changes here and I'm making some changes in my local. Okay, done. So it's good. Now, okay, I'm done with my changes. I want to push. Is this allowed first of all? Can I do this? What is the error I would get first?
conflict because of the same file name.
Before conflict, there is one more thing. What is that?
Did we pull it? Preeti?
You
I
have
don't
to
think.
pull right before you push. So if I say this, first error would be pull before you push, right? Because there were some updates, you have to pull before you push. So that's where comes pull. Again, like I said, you can do this if it is Windows. Because it's a Mac, it will allow only with a rebase. I'm doing this git pull origin main with rebase. Right now you get the changes from remote. Now this is the point where you get a conflict. Am I correct? Right? Everything is same. Only the difference is you will get a conflict here because it's the same file and the source. Source is your remote. Remote is having some commit on file 6, which is not there in this local. So you get a conflict here. Right? But I'm doing with rebase. You can try without rebase. One example, and then with rebase another scenario you can execute from your end. Okay, I'm doing pull with rebase. Yeah, see, I got a conflict. Again, how to resolve the conflict?
Keeping any of one changes or
Manually.
Just give me 1 second, please. 1 second. Yeah. So if you see here, so the concept of the reason why conflict came is same. How to resolve is also same. Only the difference is yesterday I got a conflict from my own branches, right? Like from B1 to master. But here I got a conflict from remote to local. Also here another difference is this conflict is coming from some other user. Earlier I made the decision whether I'll keep current changes or incoming or both. I am the decision maker because I got a conflict within my local. Now I got a conflict from some other user. Here developers or though collaborators will sit together, discuss what changes to keep, what changes to remove, and fix the conflict. How do you know with whom you got the conflict? When you see the log, okay, you need to see the detailed log. So here you can see like, yeah. Yeah, see, this is the change you are getting from GitHub, right? You will see the user and the email ID, right? See here, like I'm saying, this is my local configuration is like this on the MacBook local. Of course, name would also be different in the case, but here I'm making the changes. So name would be same, but here you can see the difference. This is from GitHub, this is from local, right? Again, these changes are from GitHub, which we pulled some time back. So that's how you will see with whom you got the conflict. You will sit with that person, discuss and decide which changes to go, right? So again, I'm making accepting both, done, and save the file. And whenever you make any changes, what do? Like you have to add and commit. Same thing. It shows a status like currently rebasing. If you want to continue, what you have to do? Git rebase continue. Because we were rebasing this, right? So that's all. This will do. Git rebase continue. What it says, you must edit all the files. Resolve git add. Oh, I think I did not add the file. Let me add git add file 6. Okay. And then rebase. Rebase message. Some message like file 6 added or whatever. Let me save this. Done. Now, if you see the status, it should be good, right? I did not push the changes set. There were 7. Now I'll push. Git push. We started with git push, right? But when we are pushing, it asks us to pull. When we pull, we got a conflict. We resolve the conflict and then push. Okay, now earlier there were 7. If you do this, only 1 commit. This is the one which we gave up when we did git rebase continue. This is the scenario of conflict. I believe this should answer majority of the queries where you are asking from from the couple of days. Many people ask like, how do you have a different local repositories? How can we push and how do we get conflicts? Were those queries resolved for everyone? Can I get confirmation from the people who have these queries yesterday and day before? Is it clear?
Yeah.
This should answer many queries, like how can we have multiple repos pushing to remote? How do you resolve the conflict, or why do you get a conflict on remote? All these queries should be clarified by now. So this is about the push, pull and all. And then we have few interesting and important concepts on remote. Not much. We have few which are very important, which would be some others which would be taken care by the repo admins or project owners. Before we go to that part, any other queries you have? See, whatever scenarios I have explained are very important. If you do hands-on regularly, you will gain grip over it, right? So please go through that hands-on. I think there were few options left on remote. I think we can look at them in the next class. We have discussed today the concept of rebase, pushing, pulling from remote, conflicts on remote. These are the concepts we have discussed. So go through your lab exercises and Git assignments. And yeah, you should log in and it would be like, I think day 4 or day 5 Git, complete your hands-on before you join the next class. Let me share the quiz for today and you can go through the quiz. Meanwhile, if you have any further queries, you can ask me. Git merge, Git rebase. I'm sharing this on the Zoom chat. Is this quiz completed or not? Is it an, I think I have given the quiz which we did already. Have you completed this quiz or not? Just check once, please.
No, ma'am, this is not complete.
Okay. And also go through the quiz. Meanwhile, there's a question from Revati. LS command is not working. In PowerShell, it will not work, Revati. You have to open your Git bash and run those commands. That's a Linux command. In PowerShell, it will not work.
Okay.
Open your Git bash after installing it and try out there.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions from anyone in the quiz? If no queries, we shall close here and we'll continue tomorrow with the next part on GitHub.
Ma'am, one question.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, when we are performing the rebase, using rebase to commit or merging the changes, is there any risk or any challenges that we can face while using rebase?
Pull with rebase, or you're asking about rebase on
Yes,
local
ma'am.
branches?
Pull with rebase.
Pull with rebase is fine. It works fine. There wouldn't be any issues on pull with rebase because we are first pulling the changes and we push back. That should be fine. And
And-
also that's a best way actually in reality. You will avoid additional commit IDs.
Okay. And in case of push, we
Hmm.
need to make any.
Yeah, in push you need to make any.
Ma'am, like we have to mm, make like any challenges in the rebase, like when we pushing with rebase.
We don't push with rebase, right? Only you have pull with rebase.
Okay.
We have only normal push. Pull with rebase, then push like as usual.
Okay, ma'am.
Push and pull only you will get a conflicts. That's the only challenge you will have. Conflicts are actually, yeah, it's letting you know like there were some changes and we take care of it. We
Okay.
have to resolve the conflict. So to resolve the conflict better way, you need to understand these concepts.
Sure.
All right, then we shall close here and we'll continue tomorrow. Thank you all. Good day. See you all tomorrow. Bye, everyone.